Yo, what's good,
Yo, yo,
y'all? We're here.
yo.
It's breaking news hour, breaking stream hour.
The fourth on
Happy July
holidays, man.
4th. Happy July 4th to everybody, all the Nets fans out there. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, follow us on Twitter. Twitters are scrolling at the bottom. So we have some breaking news. Shams just reported that the Brooklyn Nets, the Mikal Bridges deal is finally done. We've been waiting. How many days has it been? It's been like
At least
a
a week. What?
a week.
Yeah,
A
it
week,
was
I
it was
think.
last Tuesday.
Last Tuesday. Yeah, we got the news last Tuesday about this Mikal Bridges deal. So Shams basically said the Knicks are signing and trading Shake Milton as part of the Mikal Bridges Bojan Bogdanovic trade. We will send Keita Bates-Diop to New York. Milton will sign a 3-year, $9 million contract. And then we're also sending, I forgot, how do you say his name? Mamadi
Yeah,
Diakite.
I was already
Mamadi
butchering
Diak-
it. Yeah.
We also get him a part of that. Big
Yeah.
that really won us the trade. Former NBA champion, by the way.
But
Yeah,
he
former
does
got a
like
NBA champion.
his.
Put some
Yeah.
respect on his
Yeah,
name.
bro. This is the type of experience we need in Brooklyn right here. We need
Yeah.
the championship level guys to help develop our young. This is exactly what I'm trying to see here. Great move.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
move.
So the Nets are gonna get Mamadi Diakite and Shake Milton. First reaction, I guess I'm gonna go across the room. For me, I was expecting Sean to press because I think we had more of the leverage. I'm seeing Stefan Bondi, I think he's a SNY reporter, basically say that they had this deal already made. But if the deal was already like, they said that they weren't letting, once they agreed on the Mikal Bridges deal, that the Knicks weren't going to get hard capped, like Sean and Leon Rose agreed, or we're not going to get hard capped from this deal. So I'm trying to figure out where did that period of time from 4, 5, 6 days, a week out, like what was that time? What was the Knicks GM and Sean doing in that time? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Do y'all think y'all have any theories on that?
I just think they were trying to make money because think about it. The Nets also weren't looking to take back big contracts right now. Like that's just not part of their equation. Like they're not trying to get set. So I'm pretty sure it was a battle back and forth of like where they could stay under the second apron and the Nets could take back. And I'm sure that's to me where, because that's a lot, dude. It is a lot.
Yeah.
And you knew right away, though, to be fair, we knew right away that there was going to be more to it. It was then just them posturing probably and figuring out like, hey, we don't want to take a lot back, but you guys need to do this. So they probably went back and forth and just settled on these guys.
Because I didn't even realize Shake Milton was on the Knicks. Rage is the one that told me when I called Rage right after the deal. I was like,
yeah, when did that happen?
I was like, when did Shake Milton get on the Knicks?
Yeah, when did he go to the Knicks, Rage? Because what
happened. So what happened with the Shake Milton is he ended up getting traded to the Pistons, involved in the deal, and then they waived him, and the Knicks picked him up. But he didn't play much for them.
Well, but still, we just didn't even see that one.
Or was he may have been involved. He may have been involved in I think he got signed. He was signed. He wasn't involved in the Bojan deal. He was in fact he was traded to Detroit, didn't do much there, got waived, and then they picked him up.
I was kind of thinking, like, was he had a sign and trade? So was he had to agree with the Knicks because he was unrestricted, kind of like Precious. Precious was unrestricted. So if Shake wasn't unrestricted, he had to go back and be like, the Knicks basically had to call him and be like, yo, we can send you to the Nets. We can sign and trade you a part of this deal. So it makes like it just seems like Shake wasn't getting. I guess he wasn't getting the attention across from the league. But it makes me think about Precious too because he's an unrestricted and they could have sent him. Shout out to Jay. He said Leon Rose was able to finesse in the end because OG went for way more money than the Knicks thought they had to pay him.
Yeah, because if they would have had to pay him, if they if they would have been able to keep him lower, they wouldn't have had to worry about exactly what they were sending out. We could have been able to get more.
Shout out to Nico. He said Shake was a late signing. Yeah, I don't remember Shake being on the Knicks at all. Like it threw me off guard when I saw his name pop up on my notice. Yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, so with Shake and Precious, it's like they were free agents, so it's like you had to figure out a way how to not be hard capped. But for me, when I'll go around the room from my reaction to the trade, I was just kind of like, I was a little disappointed that Sean didn't like press Leon about giving up a young prospect like this kid Pacome did. Like I think we could have pressed for him. I know they needed exactly 4.7, but they had multiple guys. I would have took Pacome and the Mamadi kid. Like I would have took both of those kids. But the Shake Milton part of it, Shake is not terrible, and I know we're tanking, but I just feel like
they're
Sean
both 27 too.
27. Yeah, 27. Shake is not terrible, and I know we're tanking, but I just feel like Sean could have got a little bit more. Like we made the Knicks elite, and me and Rage was talking about this earlier. Like the Knicks might be one of the deepest teams in the NBA thanks to us. You know what I'm saying? Thanks to us, which is crazy to me. Which is really crazy.
Jay just said that. Sorry to interrupt you. He said Bobby Marks just tweeted the Shake details.
Oh, he just did? Oh, good.
Yeah, let me see if I can find those.
You can show your screen if you want to, Saint.
Signing at the end of this season allows this deal to be completed. Because minimum contracts are not allowed to be stacked, New York is allowed to use non-bird rights, which is $3.033 million for Shake Milton. So to make the money work, New York is guaranteeing $1.23 million of Mamadi Diakite's $2.3 million contract, and Keita Bates-Diop doesn't go on their salary because he's a minimum contract.
Wow. Yeah. So the Knicks have some flexibility because they're under like 16 million the cap. They still have their MLE, and they could sign Precious if they want to. That's what I was saying. Like, I think Sean, we helped the Knicks. Like I said, we made them literally, because you think about it, they can go 8-9 deep now. They have Mitchell. They have Mitchell and Sims. They're probably gonna look. They have Diop, but they're probably gonna look for a center. Then they go 8 or 9 deep.
Anunoby, Randall, McBride. You still have Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, Mikal Bridges now.
They're one of the deepest teams in the NBA. Thanks to us.
And they drafted Tyler Kolek and they drafted Pacome Didier, who they just signed. They thought it'd be stash and draft or draft.
I'm gonna hate Sean if the Knicks end up winning a chip for this. I'm gonna really hate Sean for this, but I understand the overpay. I understand we made a direct, but it's like the red flag to me, and I'll let Rage go to his reaction to this. The red flag to me with this whole deal is Mikal had to ask for a trade for Sean to go in this direction. That's what's scary to me. You know, like you should have picked this rebuild a long time ago. Like you should have picked this rebuild you should have done these moves a long time ago. But you waited for Mikal to say, I don't want to be here. I want to go to the New York Knicks to start making moves. And that's kind of just a little red flag to me. It's like you got to be more active as a GM. But yeah, Rage, what was your reaction to this whole Milton?
Yeah, we talked about it. It was almost the same thing. Like the guys that we did get, I thought we would have been able to like get McBride or Achuya in a deal because we thought, oh, we made the deal. We're expecting a lot. We kind of went in and once we made the deal, we were already expecting too much. We thought we were going to trade him to the draft and just trade all of these guys. Yeah. We didn't. Sean Marks, it literally took Mikal Bridges 2 ask out for him to move him. And it's in this deal, it showed, with all the reports we've heard, we were trying to help out the Knicks as well, with them not, hard capping them. And it's just now I'm not too mad at the overall trade. Yes, we didn't get maybe Achuya or, we didn't get McBride like maybe we thought we were going to.
Yeah.
But I'm still, obviously worried because we know how long it took Sean Marks because this dude would have kept Mikal Bridges, it seemed, and tried to contend when we see how bad the aprons are messing everything up, which is scary.
Yeah.
But I'm still waiting to see it out. I'm still waiting to see what Cam Johnson goes for. It's still set, obviously everything's still indicating towards us still having a fire sale. So I'm just still waiting to see what he gets for Dorian. And what he gets for the guy and Cam Johnson, the guys that he want, and the guys that we got to get rid of. I'm not doing backflips. I'm happy that we, were able to make a deal and trade Mikal Bridges and get something back like this. We still have to worry about what's next because, Marks makes big moves like these quite a bit with these trades, but it's always the follow-ups that disappoint us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And ends up biting us in the end too. We have a big trade that looks all good for us, and then we're like, dang.
It just hurts.
Or we do make a signing.
I really wasn't.
And then you're like, whoa, we're not doing anything.
Go ahead,
we're not doing anything.
Wait, before you go, Saint, let me read this comment. Shout out to Nico. He said Marks has always had a hard time finessing, asking for young players. Remember the sign and trade for Spencer, and Sean wanted Avdia, but the Wizards said no. Important. And then Jay said, folks really were twerking, thinking that the next GM was going to get McBride or Precious, crying.
Well, I mean, I honestly didn't think the McBride. I was like, that'd be cool, but I don't know. If that is like, because the thing is, like, if McBride was that, he would have been done already. So I just kind of had a vibe like, we're not getting McBride. And why, like, Precious will cost too much. The Nets are not going to want to sign it. Like, because, he would have been a sign and trade, correct?
Yeah, he would have been. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know what numbers he would have gotten. So I wasn't really thinking. I was thinking more on the lines like, this is what you were going to see. Or you were going to see they were going to pull in the third team and do.
Third team, yeah. I was expecting more of a third team.
Yeah. I just felt like we were waiting to just get what we got, something similar to this. Like, that's kind of where my head was at, but I didn't have any expectations of something on the back end because the Nets are not wanting to take back a bunch of money. These contracts are easily movable. Like, and at the same time, if you believe what was the other reporting that we just got where they said that this was a part of an agreed.
Oh, Stefan Bondi from SNY said that they agreed that the Knicks weren't going to be hard capped. As soon as the deal was made, they agreed. Like Sean said, "Yo, you're not."
This is part of the parameters.
Yeah.
Whether that's true or not, whatever. If it is, I understand it. Don't really give a shit. I've learned to where with Sean Marks, like, listen. At the end of the day, am I happy with the Mikal to Knicks and what we got back? Yes. Are there aspects of the trade that could have been better and changed and Sean could have done it? Yes. But I guess my thought is I'm not like, I can't, I don't, that's too much expectations of me on Sean Marks. And I'm just trying to I'm not like, listen, the fact that we've still got our shit back, like, I know it cost us. I'm not like, I'm just saying, like, there's part of this where I'm like, at least we got a reset to some degree. Like, at least, thank God he didn't send us down. That doesn't mean he's not going to make dumb decisions or get taken or could have pushed a little more. I agree. But this is where it's like, okay, let this trade go. Now get rid of fucking CJ and DFS, man. Like,
it's just a matter of what we do next. I think, with us, it's just as people who watch, as us who watch this team, it's what Sean Marks does next, which is it's really key. Because if you've watched how we've moved off of other players in the past, how we moved off of DeAndre Jordan, like, obviously these guys are like, Cam Johnson and Dorian Finney-Smith have more value than these guys did when we moved off of them. But look how long it took and what we did to move off of Patty Mills, Joe Harris, and DeAndre Jordan. We had to attach picks to all of them.
Yeah,
we had to attach stuff to all of them, and we lost them. But like I said, granted, these players that we have are different types of players and can get us more value. I just haven't been able to see anything from Sean Marks that make me believe that he's going to be able to get everything done, which is why I'm still skeptical. But I've also given him his props for making this move, a move we've been so desperately needing. I will give Sean Marks that. And that's why I made an article saying he proved everyone wrong and why I was giving him props.
Yeah.
But he's
check out that article, by the way,
netskingdom.net.
Yeah, check out that article on Sean. We did have an article on Sean Marks, the good thing he did on netskingdom.net. So make sure you guys check that out. If you're joining us right now, we are reacting to the Mikal Bridges deal is finalized. Shake Milton is a net. Mamadi Diakade is a net. Hit that like button if you're watching us on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitter, please hit the hearts. Jay, if you want to pop up Jay, just DM me or text Saint, whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
No, I mean, dude, it's like he's still like, I can't imagine Bojan's gonna be here, right? Like, he's gotta go. The Shake and the Mamadi, am I saying that right? Mamadi,
yeah.
Mamadi, like, whatever. They're roster fillers at this point, or they're trade fillers. But I mean, listen, I am right now, Sean Marks, good start for me. Is there things for improvement? Yes. But the job's not done, right? I don't really give a shit about Mamadi and Shake Milton, whatever. They're either going to be here or they're not. They're players that will disappear at some point. But my biggest thing is if you're really buying into this full tank and really getting you, like, you cannot. I think my fear is with with CJ and DFS. My fear is because he has, and not so much CJ, but more DFS. Like, I mean, he could have cashed in on CJ's right away. Like, and that's the thing. In hindsight, with what we were all complaining about, like, at least us here talking, I know some people in the chat, Jay, where it was like, bro, like, you should have you should have just immediately did turnarounds with these guys. And like, that's the frustrating part, is when the fan base saw a rebuild was needed.
Yeah.
And just the organization and a few spattering Nets fans were like, no, we're good. We're like, it's like, no, like, that's the part where I hopefully he may have learned a lesson. I don't think so, but how much has the value of DFS really gone down? Because I'm not
it's gone down. It's gone down.
Couple firsts or even a first. Like,
it was like two. It was when he first got here. It was like two to three. Now I'm looking on Nets NBA World, and people don't want to even give up a protected first for DFS. Like, it's that.
And I don't think we're gonna get a first. Dude, if we get a first for DFS, I'll be shocked. I'll be blown away.
He should be a protect. In my opinion, let me read some comments because people are going crazy in the comments. Shout out to Chance Chambers. He said, "We have their picks. Why would they help them? And if they call off the deal, Rose can deal with the backlash from Brunson and Knicks fans, but that man will stand on business because he has no direction." I agree with this, Chance. I mean, if Sean really wanted to press Leon about giving up some young assets, or like giving up a Combe or McBride, he could have. He could have, because he got the Ruckus picks back. We could still tank. If you could tell Leon Rose, yo, we have our picks, we could tank. We can keep Mikal or whatever. I know it would look crazy. Mikal probably would not play, but regardless, we're tanking. You could spin that and, see what you can get more of that. I think the Nets had more leverage, in my opinion, but like I said, we helped the Knicks in the end. So
somebody, Pels Dozen sent me a message that said to tell you, AJ, that the Knicks couldn't send guys like Pacome or whoever to finalize this deal because they wouldn't count as salary or anything.
Okay, what about McBride?
Yeah,
McBride.
Okay,
actually,
Kyle, if you're listening, send it.
Send it. Yeah, or hop in here, Kyle. McBride. Yeah, okay. We can. I'm not saying like just Pacome by himself. I'm saying like a combination, because the deal had to be $4 million was the price. $4 million was the price that the Knicks had to get rid of. 4.7, right? Mm-hmm. So they had to combine, either get to that point and combine, or just a different amount of assets. Is all I'm saying. I don't think that the assets that we got. I'm not saying Shake is terrible. Shake is okay. And this other guy, Mamadi, I have no idea. He's probably just a salary filler. But I feel like if Sean wanted to, he could have pressed Leon on getting McBride.
Yeah, I agree.
He could have.
But overriding the fact that, like,
because they're desperate for Mikal, right? They're the ones who want Mikal.
Yeah.
We could still tank. We have our picks. We have 2025 and 2026. I mean, the 5 or 6 picks from the Knicks, yes, that's amazing haul. But they're gonna be in the 20s. They're not gonna be, and if the Knicks are good, they're gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
but at the same time, when I do appreciate,
man, I don't know. Sorry to cut you off, but just one real quick thing. Like, it would have been, how, like, I know it would have been unrealistic, but we could have went insane once that Rockets deal was finalized. You could have been real petty and be like, yeah, Knicks.
Hey, this is the one time that Undercover, I'm gonna give him, like, this is. I'm sorry, but thank you. Brother, this is the one thing that I will say. Like, you could. Oh, well, you didn't tell me to say. All right. I thought he was sending you the link. I'll send it.
Wow.
To you
later. Oh, okay. Send me. Say something.
You said
like I said, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at.
But
I'm not mad at Sean for doing what he did. But I'm just saying, like, if you want to improve if you want to get a better assets in return, I feel like he could have pressed. He could have pressed if he wanted to. I'm not saying
it's okay. It's just it's just what it is for us. I feel like for all of us, it's just what he does next. It's what Sean Marks does next. We have this was the perfect time to rebuild, and we're in a great direction right now. But it's a matter of what we do next. we could have a very, very good team pretty soon. But we haven't been able to see anything from Sean Marks for us to be like, oh yeah, we're going to get great value out of these role players that we have and be able to help build off that and be able to either get more picks or get some young guys.
Yeah.
That's important. All of these moves matter for us because if we really want to get to contention soon, all of these little moves are going to matter. Because if you get picks out of these guys or you get one player, say you trade Dorian Finney-Smith, right? The guy that he is for us, for a guy like Jarris Walker, and Jarris Walker ends up being an actual player on our team, and he turns out he's already better than Dorian for us. So then you win that. And then what if a first is attached to that?
I mean, but listen, there's part of this deal. Like, okay, Jay, I sent it in the Twitter DM, the link, because I'm on my computer. But like, there's a part of this that it's like, dude, don't tell me that like I get it. He's great for your team, but it's like to sit here and say that like that's not an overpay, like all that for Mikal Bridges. Like Mikal Bridges is not a superstar, right? Like Knicks fans just spent all the time until he came here telling us what a mid-role player he was, right? And he wasn't a superstar. Now they get him. They give a ton of shit to get him. And now all of a sudden he's like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, the real person that I've heard somebody say, it's like, yes, we overpaid, but there is a part of this thing where Mikal will fit better with them, will be better with them. We'll see him do shit that we get like, why couldn't you do that here? But we understand why.
Yeah.
But there's also, it's like, there's part of this equation that just because you did this, Knicks fans and even Nets fans, like, there's part of this deal that is going to be unknown, and there's part of a play out that neither side is truly going to know. But you cannot sit here from a basketball standpoint and look at all the shit you got from Mikal and be like, oh, we fleeced the Nets. Like, shut up. Like, come on, dude. Like, be real. Like, yes, there is part of this that is going to take time. And listen, if it turns around where the Knicks somehow win the championship because of this, then you won.
Oh my God, we lost a trade.
Then
if
you
the Knicks
won.
win a chip, we lost a trade.
Straight up, you won. But if you don't win a chip and you just go bouncing between the first and second round for the next 4 or 5 years, and that's it, and you still don't have one since 1973, then guess what? You didn't win the trade.
They have. All right. Let me explain this too, Sam. The Knicks have a 2 to 3 window to win a chip, and this is why. Because Mikal and Jalen Brunson become free agents in 2026. Right? You guys have to pay them. And with these apron rules, Mikal's going to be a bag. Brunson's going to be a bag, obviously. So this thing has to work in 2 to 3 years because you're going to have a whole bunch of guys you're going to have to pay. You might have to even pay Dante in 2026 or 2027. So you're going to have a whole bunch of guys you're going to have to pay. Your cap, you might be above second apron, which limits trades. You saw the apron rules. I could pull the apron rules up right here. You see all the apron rules for the second apron. So you're going to have at least a 2 to 3 window of you guys gonna win a chip. And that 2 to 3 window or 2 years max, if y'all don't and it all falls apart, the Nets won because we have all your picks. You guys are gonna be in a rebuild state. And it's gonna be going forward, it's gonna be looking better for us. And then what I want to get back to what somebody said about the deal about Pacome and all those guys. The only reason I wanted Deuce out of this and Pacome out of this deal because I wanted to hurt the Knicks more. Because we have their picks.
Well, yeah, fans and what we
That's the only reason. It's not like I wanted McBride because he's so amazing. Because we're tanking. We don't give a fuck. But I wanted McBride and Pacome because it hurts the Knicks more. It makes them less deep or it makes them have less good players. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to take their washed up players because we have their picks. That's
like the guy. There's a couple comments that I want to just address real quick where it's like, listen, at the moment, both teams got what they wanted, right? You could argue over the overpay, whatever your view is. I've seen fans completely flip. But there is an aspect of this trade where it's like, yeah, like and somebody said, why did you bring up like a championship? Well, listen, the outside of you guys having more fans, it's like you really haven't done shit since 1973. What, ABA, Nets came to 1976. So as far as I'm concerned, neither of us motherfuckers have anything to really be bragging about. And what? Knicks fans can brag a little bit more because they're more popular. Cool, whatever.
Like,
but at the end of the day, you guys are winning. But you guys have a good team now. Let me finish real quick. Like at the end of the day, it's like you guys are on the up. You're getting better. This is your run. You guys have thrown the hat in. You could still potentially do things. You got to deal with Randall in that situation. Like, I don't think the Knicks are. I'm not saying they're done this season, but it's like clearly they're going to have to make some moves. Continuing to make moves, because like you can't just tell me this current team's going to be the one that's going to win it all and just destroy everybody in the league. It's not going to happen. Are they going to be good? Yes. Are they going to have great defense? I think so.
Yes.
Like they're going to offensively, they're going to be humming. Mikal does make them better, but it's like, but listen, dude, like people or visualize, forget about the past. Listen, but think about it. Most people are complaining, are living off this imaginary like hype. And it's like, listen, yes, the Nets suck. We all know this, Lewis. You're not a genius. Like, we want to suck this, Will.
We want to tank. You can't say we suck because we want to suck.
But on the flip side, too, it's like you look at like the Knicks. It's like honestly, like you guys have sucked too for a very. Did you guys forget how long y'all suck for? Like, it is what it is. But see, the thing is like trying to come from an angle like you don't understand how happy we are that you guys are the team that like we don't care. Like, we would have given Mikal to anybody. And the fact that we were able to get all that for him, like, come on. Like, for us, this is happy. Like, trying to come in and troll and say, we got Mikal and do this. It's like, dude, like you, if you knew, if you were listening and really talking to like real fans of basketball and real Nets fans, you would know how happy we are. And it's like, we'll see what the end result of this trade is, whether it's everything worth you gave up. And we'll see, like, on our end, do we get to capitalize it? Yeah. Like, we don't know what these draft picks will turn into. We don't know if they'll become part of future deals. Like, we don't know yet. But at the same time, there is one positive. Knicks got a player they wanted. The Nets got their future back in a direction. So, to me, that's kind of like a win-win. And all this other bullshit conversations that people are, like, just the Knick Net fan arguing, it's like, whatever, dude, we'll see. And then we can readdress that at the end. But at the end of the day, am I happy? Would I've loved McBride? Yeah. Would I've loved for it to push more? But listen, I just want to move on now. Now Marks is not done. Like, this trade is done. Let's move. Like, you should have zero excuse. There should be zero reason why Bojan, DFS,
all these guys get the
and
fuck
CJ,
out of here.
like at least those three's like, yeah, like Dennis. I'm not. Listen, I'm
the only person I expect to be on this team during the beginning of the season is Ben Simmons. He should be the only one left because he's untradeable. But right now he's untradeable.
I see Warrior fans are trying to say that I saw some Warrior fans
that they would take Ben.
You know the Agenda guy that's a big Warriors fan. He put out something this morning. He's just like, oh yeah, we're waiting for Ben. He's like. He's basically saying that the Warriors are like
no way in
hell Warriors want Laurie, but they're going to end up with Ben Simmons.
If the Warriors get Ben, Mike Dunleavy is on crack because you're going to have Ben Simmons, Kyle Anderson, and Draymond. What kind of shit?
Look at what I was dying, dude. Look what they got for Jordan. Look what they got for Jordan Poole in hindsight now.
Mike Dunleavy is on. Mike Dunleavy got to get drug tested because I don't know what he's doing in this free agency, bro. Like, I don't know what he's doing. Like, he turned down some crazy deals. I want to get Jay. You in there, bro? Yeah, get Jay in here, bro.
What's going on, everybody?
Bro? Jay's still on vacay. I love it.
Jay's on vacay, man.
Yo, Saint, I ain't been home, man.
You ain't been home yet? Damn, bro.
Good. Been on vacay, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nah, but AJ, I agree wholeheartedly with you, man. There was no reason for us to help the Knicks out.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't complete the deal on your own, go talk to other teams. If you got to get rid of McBride with somebody else, go right ahead. Yeah. If you got to give Precious to somebody else, go right ahead. We not helping you. We done our part. That you overpaid OG, that's on you. We not helping y'all. We not taking Shake Milton. We not taking anybody. Yeah. You go figure out the rest of the deal on your part. Because, pardon me, I got a house.
You good, bro? We know it's the kids.
Yeah. but it turned into we've already agreed to our part of the deal. The fact that you then had to pay OG Anunoby a price that nobody saw, folks were talking comfortable 30. They weren't talking around 42, 40. The fact that you had to overpay for him, that's on you. That ain't got nothing to do with what we agreed to. You figure out the rest of the trade on your own. And if you don't, then you got to sell to your fans why you didn't complete it. But I wanted to add something to it. It's a major win for the Knicks. I don't even care about the number of picks that they gave, and I'll slightly disagree with Thunder. They didn't give us 6 first-round picks. They gave us 5. One is a pick swap. So it's not us getting their pick that year. We have a right to swap. Ain't no guarantee that they're gonna be better than us that year that the swap comes down. So that swap may never convey. And honestly, we should be better than them in 4. I think it's 4 years from now.
4 years, yeah.
Is the swap 26 or 28?
No.
It might be. I think it's 28. Is the swap 28? Rage, double check that if the swap is 28 or I'm pretty sure it's 28.
I think it's 28. It might not be, but if it's 28, we should be hoping to be better than them by then. So that swap should not convey, but it's a guaranteed win for the Knicks. I'm going to tell you why, and in my opinion, may be different than most, but cool. I am not convinced that the Knicks care about winning a championship. Their fans do.
Yeah.
I don't think Dolan is committed to winning a championship. If you twisted my arm, I think there are 2 NBA owners who are committed or have been committed to winning a championship. That's the Lakers and Golden State, and that's the Boston Celtics. Aside from those 2, you can't convince me any other NBA owner is interested in winning a championship. Why do I say that? Look at what the Lakers are doing. Their starters, they have over $900 million committed to them in salary. They don't care anything about the first apron, the second apron. You could put 10 aprons. They trying to win chips.
The Celtics, right?
You're getting some pushback.
Money.
Yeah.
You're getting some pushback, and then some people agree with you.
Some people looked at Derek White, who I wish the Nets went after next year, because everybody knew he was going to get a bag. Some people are looking at Derek White as being an underpay. Some people are looking at him being an overpay. One thing that the Celtics knew was that you couldn't let that man get a free agency. So they don't even care about the apron. They paying 2 guys over $300 million. They gave Drew a bag. They gave Porzingis an extension. They
don't give a hell about the second apron. Yeah.
That's because that's why I'm wanting to say they won a championship and they're not content. Yeah. I'm convinced the Celtics don't care about the aprons and they want to win championships. The Knicks, they like, no, we don't want to reach an apron. What? Who cares about the
Well, to your point, I think there is something about the new CBA and these different aprons where I just think you're going to see some teams that are going to be so scared by it and always try to follow the rules so they're never in a penalty, right? And then there's some teams that are just going to be like, fuck it, we're this close. We just won a championship. Yeah. You there, Jay?
And that's why I think Knicks fans want to win a. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
That's why I think Knicks fans think more about winning a championship than the team does. Because if the team doesn't care about the apron, then you go all out. If you over the apron by $30 million, what money are the Knicks losing?
Yeah.
What money are they losing? They're not losing money. So the apron cannot mean anything to them.
I agree with you.
They can charge whatever they want for MSG. Ticket prices are already ridiculous.
If the Knicks want to go over the apron, this is the time to do it because, like I said, you have most of your guys locked up. I know, like I said, they have to pay Mikal and Jalen in 2 years, but that's 2 years from now. That's not, you might as well just go over now and get a best team as you can at this moment to maximize your championship window, because this is the championship window that they're trying to maximize.
Going into this trade, though, this trade was about making Jalen Brunson happy so that he'll resign. That's a win for them. They already even when they had Marshmello on the team, right? They did moves to not necessarily maximize that window. Why? Because they were making a lot of money at the Garden. And that's the number one thing that Dolan cares about, getting money at the Garden. He's never been all in for a championship. And he's showing you that again this year. If the team competes, cool. But for me, and people want to disagree, I struggle to see how they're a top 3 seed in the East.
Hey, real quick, then to that point, I see there's a lot of Knicks fans in there.
Knicks fans
like,
are flooding the comments.
No, they're being cool. Like they're just
Knicks are in here. Knicks fans are
but what I'm trying to say though is where do Knicks fans, where do you guys see yourself in seeding next year in the East?
Like, please don't say one. Like, don't
be honest. I'm curious because I've talked to some Knicks fans that are like, I think being fair and balanced, and they're like, yeah, it was a little overpay, but we did this XYZ. They know where their expectations are. They know that they still have some moves. Lewis Luck is saying top 3. That's not.
Yeah, I think they're top 3, top 4.
But like, pick it. Is it 3? Is it 4? Is it 2? Is it 1? Don't just say top. Put a number on it.
Put a number. Yeah, Knicks fans, put a number on it.
Because y'all are saying you're acting like
put a number on it.
I'm seeing top 3 or 4.
Still got to see a team. You still got to see a team in the West, man. You still got to see a team in the West and win the championship.
Like,
and at the end of the day, I'm just speaking at this from an actual basketball perspective. If you don't win a championship, no one gives a fuck. No one cares. You all need to win this championship.
So we got
y'all
3.
Do.
We got
and this
2.
Them honestly, they still made a good move too because they have a lot of players. They got a lot of players right now. Their team looks very good. The Knicks are scary.
Oh, yeah, the Knicks have a solid
win
team.
A championship.
Yeah.
If you don't win a championship, you are done. And we won that trade. And y'all look dumb because you got to pay Brunson, you got to pay Mikal, and if you don't win a championship, you just have to rebuild like us anyways, and y'all are back to poverty, just like us.
Yeah,
just like us. So y'all better win a championship now, Knicks. Y'all
better
win now.
That's what Jay was saying. Like the Knicks should just take advantage of this window and go over the apron. Fuck it, because you might as well get as much as you can right now and go for the chip right now. Because Philly's. We're waiting to see what moves they're making, but they're gonna have a good team.
Well,
Milwaukee's gonna come back with Damon and Giannis, and then you have Boston stacked. So those are basically the 4 teams that you got to compete with. You know what I'm saying? Or the 3 teams.
Let me ask the question then to Knicks fans. Are you guys wanting, like, because you guys traded a bunch, you got your Mikal, you signed, like, you guys can't tell me you don't need to go further, right? Like, Knicks fans, do you think you have the complete team to win that championship, or how much more do you need? Like, because I can't imagine you guys are like looking at this team as good as it looks and what you guys got. They're going to be fun, but do you think you guys need more to win that chip, and how much? Because I like, this is the time to do it. Like, you've already committed a whole lot. So I'm curious. Like,
they look good. I will give it to like the Knicks though. Like, this East, that all these teams are getting a lot better, and it'll be interesting with how much depth that they actually have. But yeah, there's still a bunch of teams that these guys got to go through, and if they don't get that championship,
I don't know about this one. If Randall doesn't go down,
it's gonna look bad.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, about the Knicks. Yeah, this is maybe my last thing on the Knicks because I don't want to make this like a Knicks podcast.
No, but it's a conversation that's gonna happen, and people are gonna come in the chat.
Yeah, I know Knicks fans.
This is part of it. Like,
I was gonna give.
To be fair, AJ, before you go on, I would have never thought that the Nets would have traded to the Knicks, and then obviously the deal got their attention, but it's like here we are. So we had to have this combo. But to your point, let's move on.
Yeah, I was gonna say the last thing on the Knicks, like what I think they need is definitely center depth, because Mitch gets hurt 100% of the time. Julius, you just gotta hope he doesn't get hurt. And in the playoffs, he usually goes ghost, but they're gonna have to figure out a thing around Julius because the way their play style is gonna be, I don't know how they're gonna fit him into that play style. I know, like, do you put him at the 5 sometimes? Because they're gonna be mostly like the way the Knicks run their offense. It's gonna be mostly like Brunson is really like isocentric. But now that you have Mikal and Josh Hart and Dante, so it's like fitting Julius Randle in that offense. I don't know. I guess they're gonna see. You just gotta figure it out. We'll see what Tibbs does. But the center depth is gonna be interesting because I don't know if you're gonna put Jericho Sims and
the chat's been saying they need a backup. All
Jericho Sims and what do they have right now? Bates-Diop. So it's like, are you gonna? Would you rather just go small at times? Because I guess you'd rather just go small, or it depends what team you're playing. Because if Mitch is not there, then you might have to put Josh. Is Josh Hart going to be defending centers? is, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going to happen in that point of the time?
Well, to
like,
be fair, I have a lot more confidence in Hart than I did CJ having to guard bigger guys.
Yeah, I'd rather Josh Hart defend center than CJ. Yeah.
To be fair, like, I know it's an ugly thing to watch, but
somebody said, let me see what the Knicks fan is saying. Somebody said he's going to fit in. While he was playing with the offense, they were killing teams. All right, we'll see. Yeah. And to the Mikal thing, like I said, Mikal is a good, like, the power of friendship is okay. I get it. You guys have the power of friendship, but
AJ, there's no part of this that he doesn't look better. He's going to. He's with his buddies. He's with a coach that knows a lot. Like, I don't want to go down the Mikal thing because I'm done with it. But it's like, of course he's going to. It's going to work out better. And then the other part of their equation, of course he is, dude. There's no way. He gets to slide back to pretty close to where he was in Phoenix. Yeah. Zero pressure. Be ready for to put it in. When he doesn't have that pressure, he's gonna have better. Like, come on, you think he's not gonna look any better on the Knicks undercover? Knowing that he fits in with those players better and they had better coaching, you don't think he's going to improve at all? I'm curious.
I think he's still, if he doesn't get back to what he was in Phoenix defensively, I think this was probably like, I know you said it's more about commitment.
I think he's going to look better because he's put in a less situation that requires less, like, he's not going to have the pressure on him. He's not going to be the quote star of the Nets. Like, he gets to hang out. Like,
he's going to get blamed. The thing with Mikal,
his stats are going to be worse.
His stats are going to be less, and he's going to get blamed for the mistakes. Like, if Mikal doesn't bring it games, Knicks fans are going to blame him.
But pause for a second. Like, what if his stats go down, but he does play better, and he doesn't make those mistakes? That's the part where I'm interested to see, because he is slid down into an easier position with less pressure. Yes, those stats may go down, but I'm curious to see if he actually performs better, if that makes sense. Because dude, he's not going to get the shots that he's not going to get the amount. He's not going to.
He averaged just less than 20 for us this season. He should not touch that. If those guys are healthy, he should not touch that. And look, Nets fans wanted to argue the whole season. The man was not a good defender at all, man. Like,
he wasn't.
If he
wasn't.
If the expectation is that, like, I read some Knicks fans talking about one of the reasons they traded for him was because he'll be able to guard one of the Jays on the Celtics. Is that your expectation?
Oh, no, he's not going to do
one of them.
Yeah, and people, like, this is we did just make a trade
right now.
Yeah.
Why people are surprised we're talking about this, we did just make a trade with the Nets, and we did just trade Mikal. So that's why we're talking about it.
I was going to say, with the Mikal situation, right? Like, Knicks fans got to realize Mikal is going to be limited, right? He can't break down one-on-one. Like, if you expecting Mikal to break down one-on-one and score a bunch of points, that's not him. You know what I'm saying? He can do it, like, off screens and get jump shot 3-pointers and middies sometimes, but he can't break down his defender one-on-one. Like, that's not his shit.
He has no handle.
Yeah, his handle is terrible.
Please let these Knicks fans know. Yo, if y'all thinking that he can take somebody off the dribble, think back.
He's not doing that.
And Big Perk is my guy. But think back to that Kendrick Perkins dribbling video. That's
Mikal can't dribble for shit. He can't.
His handle is disgusting. The way y'all were giving Jaylen Brown the business about having no left hand last summer.
Yeah.
Mikal's handle worse than that.
Yeah. If you put legit pressure on Mikal, like that, a full court, he's not dribbling like that.
So then my question is, like, real quick to end this, AJ, because I'm seeing, like, a lot of people, we're not expecting that. So you're expecting him to be a glorified role player that steps in once in a while, maybe does some good defense, hits a three, makes the pass. So how is that not an overpay then for that quality of a player? If you're not expecting all these things, like,
let me get to Mikal defensively too. Mikal doesn't rebound. He doesn't rim protect like that. He's not a good rim protector. He doesn't rebound. And then for defense, if you guys are smart, you would put Mikal on guards. Don't put him on forwards because he's going to get bodied. If you put him on big forwards, that's what let OG handle the big forwards and let Mikal guard the guards, because Mikal's probably better on perimeter. He's not an interior defender. He's not going to be good on the and all these wings like Paul George, the J brothers. if you put Mikal on them, like he will destroy them.
Okay,
like,
first of all,
they'll destroy
did not
Mikal
carry.
Tell
me you haven't watched
OG's the answer for y'all, but Mikal, make sure he's on those guards because it's not going to be good if you put him on big forwards. It's not going to be good.
Dude, tell me you didn't watch Nets games because he didn't carry the franchise last year. Sorry.
Mikal can score 20 points a night.
Okay. Yeah, he didn't carry our franchise at all. He did not carry. It was Cam Thomas. Look at Cam Thomas's stats.
Imagine saying that he carried us when we lost 50 games.
Yeah, right. He carried the franchise 32
50 losses. Okay, thank you.
I know some of you Knicks fans are trying with your we got you and your little things, but they're really some of it. There's a couple smart, there's a couple of you that are smart, but some of you guys are just reaching.
So he said Mikal made Middleton look like a prime Mike in the NBA Finals of 2021. He was getting bopped up. Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, Mikal, if their Knicks was smart,
that's five.
Put Mikal on them guards, bro, because he's not guarding no wings like that. I'm sorry, he's not guarding no wings.
Listen, yeah. Listen, I stuck up for Mikal and got a lot of shit for it because my general census of the whole season was I really can't blame any of these players because of how shitty the organization was run and how shitty the coaching was last year. And that the only semblance of an okay coaching was when you fired JV. That was it. Like every aspect of how that team was run, from the shitty coaching to keeping players that were told they were going to get traded. You had players now 100% knowing where they wanted to be. So you had a team full of people literally either not wanting to be there or just frustrated because the shit is so fucked up. Yeah, I'll take the hate on that, but it's fine.
Yeah.
No. Me and Undercover have to have this. It's not a cop-out. And listen, did those guys play better after we traded them? Yeah, it gave some people a false sense of hey, these guys might be good. But then you got a very healthy look with shitty coaching, shitty roster construction, no point guard to really talk of. Ben Simmons was MIA. Spencer Dinwiddie could give two fucks, was just out there running, getting cardio. And then you wait till you get Dennis Schroeder, and that's your answer. It's there's so much more to it just than a player being shitty. So we could argue with it back and forth. I understand Undercover's part of it, right? But at the same time, it's how are we going to sit here and say
they're going to be trolling?
Oh, I don't care. I don't give a shit about that. I don't
try to get you to react. That's what they try.
No, I just wanted to have a conversation with Undercover. That's it.
No, I love Under's hate on Mikal. It should be a lot of hate on Mikal. I love his hate on Mikal, and I'm
just glad it's over and gone and done with.
Yeah, like I said, he's a good piece for the Knicks. He fits in their scheme. He fits in their he's a good piece for them. But he's not the one to take them over the hump. He's not. He's not the one to take them to the chip. He's not going to be that guy to take you to the chip. I'm sorry.
Is he going to help him? Yes, but
he's going to help, but he's not going to take you to the chip.
I think expectations just need to be balanced out. Is all.
Yeah. Going forward though, before we end this, what do you guys think? The Nets' perspective now that the deal is finalized. We got Shake Milton, and I gotta look at the salary, the cap sheets right now. Go to capsheets.com and then look at let's see if Yossi he usually puts them up, the cap sheet of the Nets right now. See if you can share that too, saying capsheets.com.
I'm having issues. I had to get a new browser instead of Google. So I'm still trying to figure out how to.
I might have it up here. I might get it up.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yoshi said we 13 million under the cap.
You said we're 13 million?
Yeah, under the cap.
Okay,
yeah, because I know. I don't think he updated it yet. Hold on, I'm about to share my screen right now. Yeah, if you're watching this right now on YouTube, please hit that like button for us. Right here it is. I think. Ben Simmons, Clax, CJ, Bojan.
Hey, let me ask a question. I see y'all put out Reggae Lover saying he played.
That's Malika, by the way. That's Malika. What up, Malika?
Oh, okay. Malika said, "I don't think he was bad. What? Defensively, he was historically bad. And that's supposed to be his calling card. He was bottom 10." In the NBA at his position defensively, and he was just 2 years ago an all NBA defensive player.
Yeah. So here, if you're looking at the screen right now, this is the Nets cap sheet. Looks like Shake is getting $3 million. We still got Tariq, Noah, Dayron, Cam at $4 million, Dennis at 13. So the goal of the summer again, and I was talking to Rage about this. Like, I'm more interested in getting draft capital for CJ, DFS, and Bojan. Like, that's kind of like the players to me in any of these trades are not really like I want to get good young prospects. That would be nice, but the draft capital is kind of where I'm more my sticking point for these trades. But I was going to ask y'all, like, what do you guys think is more important with Sean making these deals for CJ and Bojan and DFS and Dennis? Like, what do you think is more important for y'all, like, to get out of these trades?
Rage, you go for it.
So I'd probably prioritize. I would prioritize the draft picks. Wouldn't. That's what I would do if teams were to offer young players too. That'd also be a good route to go. But I'd lean more towards the picks because we're trying to tank, and if we're gonna have a lot of money to spend anyways, you can go and use that money and get your players there. And you can and you can develop your guys and see who doesn't play out, and you'll still have the trade deadline to make moves. But right now it would make sense to just get picks for these guys and decide what you do going into the season and just see everything out, because this is a tank year for us. We're just trying to get as much as we can out of these guys right now. And if you can get a first round pick out of CJ, Dorian, by any means do it. But the young players also could help us out. I just don't see, taking on any other role player that doesn't make sense with our timeline.
Yeah.
I will agree in the sense of, like, I'm not sure you try to keep shaking the tree for 2025. We talked about this too the other day when we were in Spaces, where you try to see if you could set yourself up more for 2026. I'm still concerned and worried that Sean Marks is going to be able to pull out any real worthy picks as he should. I hopefully would, but I don't have a whole lot of faith that the picks that we would get back for if a pick or even picks for CJ and DFS are not going to be on the level. So if you got to push it down the road a little bit, maybe you can get a lower 2026. I would like to see us also setting up for there, because it's not like the next couple of drafts are going to be pretty good. There's a lot of players that are going to be able to be had that are going to be good. I'd like it to push a little bit more there. I am curious about how much, because I have seen part of the conversation that in the rebuild at some point it's going to look like that they are going to potentially maybe take on a contract or two that they normally wouldn't.
Yeah, basically, it's an asset because you want to have, like, we can absorb contracts now for, like, picks, basically, because we're going to have so much room in 2025.
Yeah, and I see that
for picks
more of a next year thing, but it's like, I don't know. I mean, just when scroll back up to the top there.
Yeah, right now, if you're looking at this screen, our total salaries are $157 million. We are under the luxury tax. The luxury tax is $170, and then the first apron is $178. So right now, the Nets are at $157 as it stands. Where you want me to scroll up to right here?
No, I was just looking. I just wanted to see the top.
Ben Simmons 40, Nick 25, CJ 23, Bojan 19.
I mean, literally, like 3 through 6.
Yeah.
And Ben, I mean, listen, when it comes to Ben, either Ben's gonna, I doubt it. Like, I have zero hope that this is gonna happen or faith, but it's like, if he could somehow stay healthy until the trade deadline enough where somebody's like, yeah, we'll take him for the half a year, great. But I'm not holding my breath, right? Like, to me, it's just, he's gonna be gone at the end of the season. But at least 3 through 6 has got to go in some form or fashion. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it just, you have to move on. I could see Schroeder hanging around longer, but like Cam, Bojan, like, there's no need for that. Like, you've got to move on the best you can. And that's where I'm like, this is the part where, moving on from the Knicks trade, this is the part where I get really nervous with Sean Marks. Because you've already, Dorian Finney, we've already agreed DFS's value has been screwed over by Marks waiting and waiting and waiting. CJ, you could make that case, and then you have to pay him that contract. Dennis is whatever. I almost get a feeling like Dennis is going to be hanging around because I'm not seeing any real push to get any kind of backup point guard really. And I'm not going to take Shake Milton as a combo guard as like he's going to run the point and we're going to be great. I'm not doing that either. He's got a lot of work to do. You can't just, if I think the thing that scares me is that he's just going to say, oh, no, we're good and we'll deal with this at the trade deadline.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I wonder if there is a player on our team that would be more beneficial to trade at the deadline. Maybe it helps his value go up, but this is the part where I'm very nervous about what he's going to do and what he values of those players.
Yeah, because we're supposed to tank. So, in my opinion, like everybody on this roster outside of the young guys should be gone. Like. And Ben Simmons, because Ben Simmons is basically like untradeable right now. So Ben Simmons is the only person I should see on this team after like when the season starts. CJ should be gone, Bojan should be gone, DFS should be gone, Dennis Schroeder should be gone. And I guess since we have a Shake Milton now, he could be like the vet because what is he, 28? He'll be the vet at $3 million. We can have everybody wanted to keep Dennis as our vet, but Shake could be our vet at $3 million instead of Dennis at $13 million. So it's like those guys all should be gone, and then we should start our tank journey and wait for Cooper Flag in 2025 draft or Ace Bailey or one of the three or Dylan Harper or VJ, one of those guys. So
yeah, I mean, if we acquire one of those dudes, we're not going to give a shit about this trade.
Yeah,
we're not going to care about any.
If we get if we get a top 5 or top 2,
dude, we have to get
this is going to be all worth it.
Like Jay, but Jay was saying it too. Like that's why I asked the other day. It's like, dude, if we don't get top 3, I'm going to be pissed. I'm gonna be so salty. Even though
top 5,
but even though there are still, to the point, there are still some good players, but it's like
that's what I was saying with Rage. I was like, if Sean doesn't have to do much. Like we're not asking him to build an all-star roster. We're not asking him to build some crazy shit. Like all you got to do is get value for these guys. And
I just want to be able to see out of these trades.
You got to be as much as you can. You know what I'm
as a Nets fan, and after everything we've seen from Sean Marks, all I want to be able to see, just be able to have an offseason where I can see trades and be like, man, that didn't look too bad. That's all I want to say. I just don't want to be angry at any trades we make. That's it. We don't have to do an insane amount. Like, we don't have to do anything crazy. It's just, what comes next with trading Mikal Bridges and going into a rebuild. This is just what comes with it. And it's important because every one of these moves are very key. Each move in the NBA, we know that. One player can change something. You never know.
Yeah, make sure you guys hit that like button for us on YouTube, Twitter. Hit the heart button for us. We'll be back on we have we got a lot of videos dropping because we recorded a lot. So just check Nets Kingdom on YouTube. Also, Cypher and Rays dropped really good articles on netskingdom.net about Sean Marks and about Cooper Flag, the race for Cooper Flag, capture the flag for Cooper. So make sure you guys tap into that. Twitter, you see all our Twitter scrolling at the bottom. Again, appreciate you guys so much for joining us. And we'll see what Sean Marks does.
I'm glad the Knicks fans joined because
Knicks fans is in. Knicks fans gonna pay attention. They always gonna pay attention.
This has been fun.
Yeah.
You remember who we haven't talked to?